So I fixed this influx and the Grafana things.
Very
Okay,
nice.
let's see. So Grafana is running on Localhost 3000.
So you simply install Grafana, right?
Yes, that's it. We don't have nothing much. So one install, right? It automatically get installed in the Grafana lab section. You can see, right? If we execute the exe, right, it will install this Grafana labs. And if you go to here in the bin, you will see this client and server.
Okay, so which one you started, server or
No,
the client?
nothing. We don't have start nothing. By default, it will
Okay.
start.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so once it started, right, it is a Localhost 3000 will be running.
3000 it is picking localhost 3000. Okay.
Okay, so then this is a Grafana, right? Same way now we have to set up for the influx. So influx is running on Localhost 8086.
By default it will, or you have given the host name 8086?
The default
Sorry, port number
8086 for the influx.
Okay.
Okay, let me start the influx one. Okay, CMD influx. Okay, now let's see. Okay, so I created username and password. Okay, this is the influx.
You simply InfluxDB, you simply installed it, right? Or
Yes,
anything
yes,
else?
nothing else. Same from the exe file. Okay, so here it is a new one. It's like a version kind of 2. So earlier we don't have this UI for the influx. So now here they're providing this influx like kind of Kibana so that you can do everything here. Okay. So now what I did is simply I just created a token to authenticate from anywhere. Because otherwise there is no authentication, right? So I simply created a generate API token and we got the JV token and that's it.
Generate API token and you saved it as JMeter token.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Then,
Okay. Now first we have to push the data now in the influx. So let's open JMeter. Okay. File open recent influx. So first I create thread group and a dummy sampler. Some request, any request, right? Some dummy sampler. Then I add a listener. Backend listener is from add listener. Backend listener. Okay. In the backend listener, you will select here. I selected this raw backend listener client. InfluxDB raw. Earlier we used to InfluxDB. That's for the version 1 of Influx. You can use this one as well, but priority is this one, InfluxDB. Okay. So here I created organization of JMeter and bucket JMeter. So I will give these two things while creating influx.
So this one is the InfluxDB URL, right?
Yes. Localhost 8086 and API v2 / is common and only change the organization bucket. So I created a JMeter organization bucket as JMeter. So I've given those.
So you created in InfluxDB?
Yes, InfluxDB.
Means we first you created, then you added here, like
no, first we have to create there. See, while sign up only, right? While sign up only, it will ask you the very first page.
So you have to create a bucket and a.
Create the bucket, the organization.
Okay.
Okay, but generally, right? file our testing, no, everything will be set up already. We don't have to set up from scratch, correct? In real time. They will give the details to us.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I will do it my home laptop. Na? Then there you have to do the token, right?
Then we have to get the token. Okay, this is a token. So just copy the clipboard, and you can see it's all permissions. You can keep all the permissions or only few, whatever based on the record. Okay, the key name is InfluxDB token. It should be same, and the value are pasted here. Okay. Now let's clear. Yeah, let's clear and run. Okay, let's run for 1 minute kind of, so that we'll get more data. Okay, let me stop. And okay, so we didn't get any error. Because otherwise we'll get error saying that can't able to push it, or kind of errors will get. Okay, so now let's check the influx first. I'm selecting these things. See, we got all the data. Okay, with the today's time. 23/5/21. Okay, we got timestamp, start time, stop time, field value, and everything. Okay, now we got InfluxDB. So now we have to push into Grafana, right, to visualize. So now we go to Grafana. So again, just while setting from scratch, right, it will ask the username and password. Okay, nothing much. So the next thing is you have to do sources. Okay, data sources. We have a lot of those sources here. So we need to select InfluxDB. Add search influx. Okay, then select this one. So the name by default, whatever it will come here. Then you have to give the URL 8086. I'll show mine. Okay, let's go to this is the current which I'm using. Okay. So I just given the URL 8086 and I selected the basic auth. Okay, and give the password username admin, which I created, right? Admin of the DB.
Yes.
Okay, and organization JMeter, right? And bucket JMeter, which I created earlier, no? JMeter and JMeter, and that's it. And click on save and test. And 3 buckets found means your Grafana is properly linked to DB.
InfluxDB, yeah.
Okay, so now we have to go to dashboard to generate the graph.
You have to select InfluxDB, na? It has been selected InfluxDB 1.
Mine is InfluxDB 1.
Okay.
Let's download the plugin directly. Dashboard Grafana performance. Okay, we can get this by ID as well or download as well. We'll try with ID.
Okay. Then it is a Zabbix dashboard. It is showing.
Sorry.
The dashboard is Zabbix.
The name. Like they are used to do monitor that one.
Okay, let's see.
We need a pattern only.
Yeah. 804.
No, not here. Good. Okay. Oh, it's type of Zabbix source only. We should check the source of influx.
Yeah.
Let me select the filter with influx.
I saw that.
Okay, let's simple this one. Okay. Everyone, import. Now we need to change all the query details here. Let's check the performance with JML directly. That we'll get to know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
5496.
Bad gateway.
Now, yeah.
What is happening here? Okay, let's try other one. We need to create it from manually, but that is a very hectic to create the manual task. And that too, we are using version 2, and these are dashboards from version 1. That could be also a change. Okay, we leave this thing. Okay. Not able to do this, but you got the concept right. Setting everything. Okay. Right. So now let's go to this master and slave configuration. So this is like kind of a node system as well. Some systems in some projects record as node. Okay. What is exactly master and slave, and why you have to use JMeter?
To simulate more load generators.
Yes, more generators, correct. Because in generally JMeter completely depend on the Java and is completely upon the system RAM. So suppose let me open my task manager. Okay, so my RAM is 16 GB RAM. So out of 16 GB RAM, currently it is already occupied with 8.8. If I run JMeter test with some like 1000 or 2000, right? It may be again 2 or 3 GB will be gone. But your load requirement 10,000 users.
Yeah.
So if you give 10,000, it will run, right? Your JMeter will hang because it will take all out of the memory, and your system don't have the memory to run this system task. So the system will be hang, and you have to do shutdown mostly. Otherwise, generally you will get an out of memory error in the JMeter, so JMeter will stop it. Okay. So, but you have to achieve the 10,000 user load case. So how we'll do that? That's where we use this concept to group or to combine a different systems to share the load and monitor from a single machine.
Okay.
So let's see. So there are few rules which we have to take and note.
So suppose for an example, Ravi, in load runner, right? Suppose I have to execute 1000 user load. So controller is at one place, right?
Yes.
We are selecting the license, and from there 1000 user license is simulating the user load. Whatever be the number of LG we are communicating, but the user load is controlled by the controller.
Correct.
Okay. But in JMeter, suppose I am adding 2 slave machines. What does that mean? It increase the load, means like in the controller, suppose means like that means I am running suppose 1000. Is that the mean 5000 and 5000? Both the machines will run 2 slave machines.
So if you have one slave and one master, right? And you can option choose to run the master as well as slave as well.
I didn't get it. Your voice broke. Can you explain one more time?
Yeah. See, now assume that you have a 2 slave machine on one master machine. Okay. Controlling the JMeter from the master. So in their master machine, right, you have control whether to choose run in all 3 or only 2 slaves. So whatever you select that particular machine IP, right, then it will run in that system only.
So suppose I am running a test with 100 TPS. Okay. So when I added to one more slave machine, that means it will go for like 100 TPS or 200 TPS.
No, it won't go 200. Obviously, it will be more than that number. It will change. The TPS will change.
It will go more, right? If I'll add more.
Yes.
If I'll go add 2, means like it is not the way load runner was, it is not going to work in that way.
No. if whatever you added right here in JMeter, the load will automatically distributed. So numbers will change.
So suppose like in load runner, right? I want 100 TPS. Whatever with the LG I am going to add, but anyway my TPS is already 100, right? But in JMeter, is this something more? Means like suppose
no, in JMeter we can't do like that. This will help you to set up the load, but it can't control that numbers from one machine to other machine. Got it right? It's like one machine only. It's like running from a single machine. That's it. So, but nothing like the loader I mentioned to control the numbers, control the data from one machine to other machine. Okay. It's clear, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I will tell you. Okay. The first thing is all master and slave, right, should be in a same network. Network. If it is in different network, you have to open the firewall also. So if you have access to one particular machine, then you can do it. Okay. And all our dependencies, suppose CSV file or some jars you are using in master machine, right? All they should copy to save. Otherwise, scripts won't run all day. Okay. And Java and JMeter version should be same on all machines. If you're using a 5.4 in a master, then 5.4 is slaves as well. Okay. And these three are main and compulsory. Okay. If something wrong or not able to connect right from master to slave or slave to master, there's something wrong with these 3 points. Okay. Right. Now let's see. So let's assume that this is my master machine. Okay. And now I need 1 or 2 more, right, to connect to the slaves. So irrespective of whatever the load, now the process is same. Whether connect with the 2 users or connect with 1,000 users, the process is same only. Okay. The first you have to collect slave IPs. Suppose you want to connect the 3 machines as slaves. So connect slave IPs. Okay. And update in the JMeter properties. Right. So let's go to this. This is my master, right? Now let's go to my master. I will open JMeter properties. Okay. And here I will search for remote. Okay. Search for remote host. Right here you have to add your slave machine IP as with the comma.
Okay.
Okay. Assume that my other system IP is 10.5.4. something 1. Save. Okay. So then restart your master. So then it will change it, right? Let's restart. Okay. And to make sure whether it's updated properly or not, you can go to run, the run option. You can see remote start and you should see that IP over here. If you are not able to see that IP means there's something wrong with the file or you may not save it properly. Yeah. Now this is from the master machine. Now go to slave machine. On slave, right? Yeah. I hope the same as from JMeter and dependencies are installed. Okay. then hit jmeter server.bat. All slaves. Okay. So once we add an IP and once open jmeter of server.bat. So got to go to bin folder. So we are using jmeter.bat, right? To run a jmeter. But
Yeah.
these things, no, we have jmeter server.bat. See, currently now we have some exception with my jmeter or something, so it's not running here. Okay, then if you got this type of RM errors, right, then it won't work.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So generally, see this, but so let's search for this error. Okay. Get something. Okay, let's search for the key. And remember this performator.com. This is like one of the best website. You'll get most of things here.
Okay.
Let's search for this word. Control C. Okay. What he mentioned, I'm going to comment the value and change it to true. Now again, let's restart. Okay. Now we got some IP, right? So running from this machine, I think this is machine IP here.
This is the IP for what? This
I
one?
mean, I'm running this server.bat in this machine only. No, this is now slave.
Then I got it, but what is your this IP? This is your machine IP?
IP only. One 192.168.29.48. System IP. I mean that particular machine IP.
IPv4. Okay.
Okay. Right. So it means now server is running here. So you should get on the slave machines, you should get like this only.
Yeah, I'm getting it actually.
Right. So now once you go to your master machine, let's open master machine. Just 8 minutes. Sorry, man.
No problem.
Staff from that place.
No.
Okay. Right. Now let's open any script. Let's open an influx script, any script. Okay. And okay. And here, right? And let's open this server.bat parallelly. Okay. Now, if I do what I do, right? Generally click on run button here. But what I do is this master and slave configuration. You simply go remote start all means it will execute the load on all machines, including master.
So here is my question. So okay. Just add a thread group there. Just make it just discuss thread group. Add something like suppose like 10 users, something, right? So I add three slaves, right? So
it means
load should
these 10 will be distributed all three. 10, total 30 will come.
10 will be distributed between three systems.
No,
correct?
Not 10. It won't be. It will be duplicated. 10 in master, in other 3 in 10. Total 40 will get.
Oh my god. It's a totally different concept. Like
suppose if you want the total load as 10, right? Then you have to give 3 here. Understood? Whatever.
Total if 10, suppose I want 10, then I have to make 3 here. Correct.
So whatever the master machine, right? You have to divide the total load by given machines.
So that means agreed, but the thing is the load is not coming equally distributed, right? Then
no, is equally distributed only, no? 10 means 3, 3, 3, kind of.
No, suppose for an example, you have 2 thread groups. Okay. Thread group 1 is having 2 samplers. Thread group 2 is having 2 samplers, right? So when thread group 1 runs in slave 1 and thread group 2 run in slave 2, correct?
No,
so that means
no.
Okay.
If you give multiple thread groups or not any thread groups, right? It will be run across the same.
Oh, okay.
So you 2 thread groups or 5 thread groups, then all 5 thread groups will run all machines.
But the users will be duplicated.
Right.
Suppose 2 thread groups 10 is there, then it will be, if I'm adding 1, it will be 20. 330.
Okay. Now let's add this IP. Okay. I mean local only, right? And we'll run from here. So instead of clicking on run button, I will remote start on this my local IP. Any output, anything?
198.168.
No, it's local host only, no 127.0.0.7 same, right?
That is a local host, yeah.
This
is the IPv4.
It is not responding. Let me open it again.
Just remove the unwanted IP that you added. Remote host.
No, that doesn't matter. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, engine is busy. Please try later. Okay, I think it's both are in the same system, right? That's why I'm getting some error. Okay. In the
Master
real
slab
time,
both are busy.
so in the real time, what will happen, right? It will get started. Okay. And in the this server.bat now, you will see the scripting numbers.
Yeah, that one I can see. I am running now. Yesterday I got to get the access and I was checking this one.
So you will see output in the this server.bat.
Yeah, when you started here, it will say like start time is this one and end time is this one.
Correct. So if you are otherwise, you will get some error like in the master only, not able to connect, kind of errors.
But is this the only changes if you do that is going to work?
Yeah, that's
like
it. Yeah. Nothing much.
RMI SSL no certificate, nothing to be installed, right?
Nothing. That's why if it is firewalls, then you have to do all other things. If there is no firewall, if in the same cluster, same environment, then that's it.
So in my home, I am having 2 laptops and my Wi-Fi is same. Okay. So I can ping from laptop A to laptop B.
Okay.
So I can add a JMeter in both the one. I'll make one as a master, another as slave. So in the other system, it's going to work, correct?
Right. Yes.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay. It's clear, right? So nothing but nothing. And one more thing. If it is one is the Windows, one is the Linux, right? You may get some issues.
OS is different, right? But yeah, the binaries to be installed different in Linux machine, right? If we are installing JMeter.
Right. So it's always advisable either Windows or Linux. I mean, otherwise we have to debug the whole errors and otherwise.
Your voice is breaking down.
Otherwise, right? If you're using one Windows and one Linux, it's like hectic. Again, you have to debug everything and all the errors to resolve that issue.
Okay.
We're getting my work. Separating mine and
Clear, right? So that's the master slave. Okay. So for the coding, right, we have a lot of objects will be there. I mean, for each sampler, each bean shell, each thing, right? We have each concept, we have different things. Okay. So I got one of BlazeMate website where they mentioned everything over there. So we'll follow that tutorial and we'll try everything.
Okay.
I told you something.
Okay, this website.
So we'll do that tomorrow?
Sure. Your wish.
Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow because coding will spend 1 hour.
Yeah.
1 hour.